Let's dive right into the opening ODI between India and South Africa and Ranchi. What a match! It was part batting masterclass, part absolute nail-biter, and just full of drama. And it all started with a number that's pretty hard to believe.
So get this, 19. That's how many tosses in a row India had lost coming into this game. You know, the odds of that happening are something like 1 in half a million. It's just wild. So right from the get-go, they were battling against the odds.
And that really makes you wonder, right? When the coin just will not fall your way, what's your plan B? Well, for India, it meant forgetting about luck and relying on pure skill. They had to bat first, and they knew they had to post a massive score.
So here we are, kicking off the first part of our story. Another toss lost, and the task was crystal clear. The Indian batters had to put a huge total on the board, especially to deal with the dew that was going to help South Africa later. The pressure was definitely on.
But almost immediately, the plan hits a snag. After a pretty quick start, Yashasvi Jaiswal gets out. And just like that, India's on the back foot under some serious pressure to rebuild before the game gets away from them.
So, who do you turn to in a moment like this? You look to your senior core, of course, and outwalk Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, two titans of the game with the massive job of steadying the ship.
And what happened next was, well, it was just a spectacle. This wasn't just them digging in and recovering, it was a full-blown counterattack that completely flipped the momentum of the game. It was the Rocco show in full effect.
They didn't just stabilize things, they totally dominated. They put on another century stand, both of them racing to their 50s. And before you knew it, India had stormed to 153 for 1 after just 20 overs. That was the launch pad they were looking for.
But you know, during this partnership, Rohit Sharma wasn't just scoring runs. No, he was actually rewriting the history books. Let's take a closer look at his incredible, record-breaking performance. So with one huge six-off Marco Jansen, Rohit Sharma hit his 352nd maximum in ODI cricket. And with that, he officially climbed to the top of the mountain. He overtook Shahid Afridi to become the player with the most sixes in the history of the format. Just amazing.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer dominance this shows. I mean, think about it. 64 sixes in just the first 10 overs since last year alone. That puts him in a completely different league. It's just pure aggression.
And this table really puts that achievement into perspective. Just look at the names he's now ahead of. We're talking about legends like Shahid Afridi and Chris Gale, some of the most destructive hitters the game has ever seen. Rohit's now at the very top of that list.
This wagon wheel kind of shows you the method to the madness. Look at that. More than half of his sixes are just hammered into the mid-wicket and square leg areas. It's his signature shot, that pull shot, and it's his absolute weapon.
So after Rohit's record-breaking knock finally came to an end, his partner stepped up to take center stage. Now let's get into the masterclass that Virat Kohli put on to anchor the rest of the innings.
Yeah, so after Rohit got out, India actually lost a couple of quick wickets. The scoring rate dipped and you could feel South Africa sniffing an opportunity. But through it all, there was Virat Kohli, standing firm, soaking up all that pressure and anchoring the innings perfectly.
He rode out that storm, and then, boom, he hits a landmark of his own. His 52nd 100 in ODIs, which is his 83rd century in all of international cricket. I mean, what can you say? A true master at work.
And here's the crucial part, how he just completely shifted gears. Hitting the 100 wasn't the finish line for him. It was the signal to just go for it. He smashed 20 runs in just 4 balls, in 1 over, going from anchor to aggressor and launching India towards that huge total.
And this was the end result. A massive 349. It was a total built on that incredible Rocco partnership and then capped off by Kohli's brilliant finish with KL Rahul chipping in with an excellent 50 of his own.
Now, you'd think a score like that guarantees an easy win, right? Well, that's where this story takes the twist. South Africa's counterattack was ferocious, totally unexpected, and it made this game way closer than anyone thought it would be.
Even though they were struggling at 11 for 3 early on, South Africa just didn't give up. Their lower order, led by Marco Jansen and Corbin Bosch, launched this unbelievable assault that suddenly put the results in doubt. I mean, the Indian camp looked seriously worried.
This timeline just shows you how dramatic it got. From being completely down and out, they fought back so hard. Jansen's crazy 26-ball 50 gave them a glimmer of hope, and then Bosch kept it going, taking it all the way down to the final over. 18 needed off the last 6 balls. It was an incredible chase.
So, really, this is the story of the match in a nutshell.
On one side, you have just total batting brilliance from the legends. But on the other, you have a bowling unit that was put under some serious pressure, conceding 332 runs. They really needed Kuldeep Yadav's 4 wickets to just scrape through with a nervy 17-run win.
And that kind of leaves us with this one big question. The Titans, Rohit and Kohli, they absolutely turned back the clock and delivered. But with the bowlers being tested like that, you have to wonder, is that individual brilliance enough to paper over the cracks? Is it enough to solve the bigger questions about the team's balance? That's what India needs to figure out.